Hey, remember when Apple acquired Beats by Dre in 2014? Not only did that make Dr. Dre extremely rich, but it also caught people by surprise seeing the merging of two iconic brands. This was a big deal. You have Apple's tech and the Beats brand iconic appeal. Surely they'd make something great, right? Well, for several years, it felt like Beats was taking a pause. It took a beating perhaps, but existing models stayed on the shelves with few updates or new releases. With the incredible success and dominance of the Apple AirPods, maybe Beats was thrown into the backseat only to be forgotten. But starting last year, something changed. We saw a sudden resurgence of new product launches. The Beats Studio Buds, the Solo 4, the Studio Pro, and even the return of the Pill. Momentum had suddenly picked up and fast. And now, almost 6 long years after the original Powerbeats Pro redefined workout earbuds, the next chapter begins, the Powerbeats Pro 2. And this is not just an incremental update, it's a culmination of Apple's cutting-edge technology, bringing a range of improvements, including a game-changing built-in heart rate monitor. The real question is whether it's worth your hard-earned money, so we'll find out in this review of the Beats Powerbeats Pro 2, all from the perspective of an audio engineer. That's me. If it is the right fit for you, use the links below in the description as they help support free videos like this one. Let's find out because this is Tech Today. First off, the design. You can't miss that iconic ear hook. For a lot of people, especially if you're doing anything active like running, jumping, hitting the gym, that secure fit is a non-negotiable. You don't want your earbuds flying out mid-burpee, right? And honestly, there aren't many good ear hook options left. These are pretty much the most modern, high-tech ear hook earbuds you can get. This ear hook is made out of nickel titanium wire, making it super flexible and durable. It'll always spring back to the original shape. Plus, it's over 50% smaller than the previous Powerbeats Pro ear hook, and the whole earbud is 20% lighter, which is a huge improvement for comfort, especially during long workouts. But over time, the hooks provided a little bit of a discomfort for me on the back of my ear, so maybe they're too strong and worth noting. Speaking of comfort, the box contains 5 different ear tip sizes from extra small to extra large. Finding the right fit is crucial, not just for comfort, but also for getting the best sound quality and noise isolation. The earbud design is also quite comfortable in my ears after extended use and look quite similar to what the AirPods Pro 2 looks like on the bulb portion of the earbud. Beats said that this was intentional as they brought comfort studies from the Apple side over to Beats. Now, both earbuds have physical buttons, which are mirrored on each. Each earbud has a multifunction beat button and a volume rocker, which is excellent if you prefer tactile feedback. Now, let's talk about sweat. These have an IPX4 rating, which means they're splash proof. You can sweat on them, run in light rain, and be good to go. Just don't take them for a swim. We do have a few different color options here that are bold and bright, unlike flagship smartphone options, and neutral if that's your preference. Finally, the case. It's substantial. It's 33% smaller than the old Powerbeats Pro case, which is definitely an improvement, but it's still pretty big, especially compared to the AirPods Pro 2 case. Beyond the earbud's shape, there may be good reason for this, but we'll discuss that momentarily. Speaking of fun colors for earbuds cases, if you are tired of having boring colors or boring designs for your phone, you should check out a skin and case from Dbrand. They have the really cool circuit board skin and made in partnership with Linus Tech Tips that glows in the dark. And they have the Ghost 2.0 grip case that is really slim and you can see through it. There's a Qi charging ring that is an option if you want to have that there, or you can remove it if you want that really clean look. Find out more about Dbrand in the link down below in the description or scan the QR code here. While this is not the first earbud to have a heart rate sensor in it, the Sennheiser Sport is the first, the built-in heart rate monitor is the headline feature of the Powerbeats Pro 2. It essentially pulls the technology, lessons, and learnings from the Apple Watch and puts it into the Powerbeats Pro 2. This is a huge advantage for anyone serious about tracking their fitness. And you might think, a smartwatch already tracks my heart rate, and that's true, but ear-based heart rate monitoring can be more accurate in most situations. Think about it, when you're doing exercises that involve a lot of wrist movement, like lifting weights, doing push-ups, a wristband sensor can sometimes get thrown off. Your ear, on the other hand, stays relatively still, giving you a more consistent reading. Additionally, it receives a cleaner read from arteries in your ear. So how does it work? It's pretty clever if you think about it, but I'll keep it simple. Each earbud has a tiny sensor that uses light to measure blood flow. The technology is similar to the Apple Watch, just miniaturized and optimized for your ear. On iOS, it integrates seamlessly with popular apps like Nike Run Club, Runna, Ladder, Peloton, and Open, and then it automatically logs your data into the the Apple Health app. Android users, you're covered too. It works with any Android fitness app that supports heart rate monitoring, though we'll have to see which apps specifically add support for the Powerbeats Pro 2. There are a couple ways to use the heart rate monitor. It automatically tracks your heart rate during workouts and logs it into the Apple Health app. You can connect it directly to compatible gym equipment. You just double press and hold on the B button, and that'll allow it to connect. The catch is that other companies will have to adopt this like Peloton has, so we'll have to see how widely available it becomes. The potential for an integrated workout experience, which is honestly pretty cool, is most likely because of its relationship within its integration within that Apple ecosystem, which many companies already seek to support. So about that larger case that we mentioned, yeah, it's not exactly pocket friendly, but it's the reason that you get this incredible battery life. With adaptive EQ turned on, you're looking at up to 45 hours of total listening time. That's the earbuds plus the extra charging that you get from the case. And even with active noise cancellation or transparency mode active, you still get a hefty 36 hours total. On a single charge, the earbuds themselves last up to 10 hours with adaptive EQ on, or 8 hours with ANC and transparency mode on. The bottom line is that you can power through the longest workouts or even a full day without worrying about battery anxiety. And if you do somehow run low, a quick 5-minute fast fuel charge gives you another hour and a half of playtime. Plus, the case itself supports wireless charging, which is always nice and convenient. For a solid connection, the Powerbeats Pro 2 uses Bluetooth 5.3, giving you excellent stability and range. They also pack the Apple H2 chip, providing that seamless connectivity across your Apple devices. Oh, and one very niche feature, ultra low latency audio with Apple Vision Pro. So if you're one of the few that have a Vision Pro, that's a bonus. Now let's talk about how these earbuds handle calls, because even if you're primarily using these for workouts, you're probably going to end up taking a call or two on them. The Powerbeats Pro 2 has a total of 6 microphones. Some of those mics are dedicated to picking up your voice, and others are used for noise cancellation and transparency mode. We'll cover that next. They also use something called beamforming technology, which basically means the mics work together to focus on your voice and then filter out the background noise around you. A voice accelerometer is also built in within it, and it also isolates your voice to help eliminate unwanted environmental noise. Of course, it's one thing to say that it's good at something, another to hear how it performs. So I captured some objective samples in different environments, relatively quiet indoors, a simulated busy coffee shop, and a simulated windy environment. Let me know what you notice. Here's what the Beats Powerbeats Pro 2 microphone sounds like if you're on a phone call and it's in a quiet room. This is what the Beats Powerbeats Pro would sound like in a simulated noisy cafe environment. It's pretty loud, but can you hear me? This is what the Beats Powerbeats Pro 2 would sound like in a simulated windy environment. Can you hear me clearly? Is it handling any of the wind noise very well, or do I sound really garbled? Let me know in the comments. So what do you think? How did they handle the wind noise? Let me know in the comments. I'm particularly interested in your take on the call quality in noisy environments. The Powerbeats Pro 2 has active noise cancellation, or ANC, and transparency mode, along with technology and studies already figured out by Apple and brought over to the Beats side. More of that synergy between companies, you can switch between them or turn both off by long pressing the B button on either earbud, or adjust the settings in the app or iPhone. Let's hear how they perform in various environments. Here's what the transparency mode sounds in a quiet room on the Powerbeats Pro 2. Here's what the Powerbeats Pro 2 sound like in a simulated cafe environment in transparency mode. How clear is everything? Here is what the Powerbeats Pro sound like in a simulated windy environment in transparency mode. How does it sound in a windy environment in transparency mode? Does it pull things down a bit, or is it still very transparent? Here's what the Powerbeats Pro 2 sound like in a quiet room in ANC mode. This is what it sounds like in a quiet room. This is what the ANC mode sounds like in a simulated cafe environment. How much is it canceling out? This is the ANC mode in a simulated cafe environment. This is what the Powerbeats Pro 2 sound like in ANC mode in a simulated windy environment. This is what it sounds like in ANC mode in a simulated windy environment. How's it performing? And here's how it sounds like in transparency mode going into ANC mode. So you can hear how much it's canceling out of the simulated cafe environment. What stood out to you? How reduced did the volume sound to you? How did it perform in the wind? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. For me, it doesn't just muffle some sounds, it reduces the overall volume of your surroundings in every way, in a very even way actually. It's kind of like turning down a volume knob on a stereo, but on the world. So you could still hear things, but you're not entirely cut off. Everything's just quieter. On the other hand, transparency mode lets you hear what's going around you naturally. It's clean and clear, though the very high frequency sounds less pristine and a bit more mellow than in real life. In terms of absolute transparency, it's not entirely on the same level as the Bose QuietComfort Ultra earbuds or the AirPods Pro 2, but it's better than what I've heard from brands like Sony. It's more of a refined performance. Beats has a reputation. For a long time, it was all about that bass, and while there's nothing wrong with bass, sometimes it could be a bit, overwhelming. But things have changed. Beats has been refining their sound with every new release, and the Powerbeats Pro 2 are a great example of that. These have a surprisingly balanced sound. Yes, they're still bass, it wouldn't be Beats without it, but it's not muddy or overpowering. It's tasteful, and it gives your music that driving energy, great for a workout, though not as punchy and tight as I was hoping for. The mid-range, where vocals and most instruments live, is pretty good, not too recessed. The high-end though, that's where things get a bit more complex. On my iPhone, I found that the high frequency surprisingly sounded harsh and too bright, which is unusual. This wasn't the case on my Mac or Android devices, so it might be an isolated issue with my specific iPhone setup, or maybe a software glitch or some other factor that I'm not able to figure out. But assuming that's not the norm, I'd say that these are probably the most tasteful, balanced sounding Beats earbuds yet. There's a touch of boxiness in the upper frequencies, a few sharp spikes in the highs, and personally I wouldn't mind a little bit more mid-range, but overall, it's a really enjoyable listening experience. I will have to say though, that I do prefer the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro with my custom EQ, which is available for channel members, or the Nothing Ear 2024 for a much cleaner, dynamic, punchy balance and exciting sound. I have reviews for both of those in the cards up here and the links in the description, where you can also purchase the Powerbeats Pro 2. Compared to other earbuds, these are definitely clearer and more open sounding than something like the Sony WF-1000 XM5. They're closer to the Bose QuietComfort Ultra earbuds in terms of overall balance, and brighter than the AirPods Pro 2. It's almost like a blend of the Apple and Bose sound signatures. A lot of this comes down to some clever engineering. Beats uses a custom designed transducer, that's the speaker inside of the earbud, and a new venting system to improve airflow and reduce distortion. They've also aligned the transducer in a specific way to deliver sound more directly to your ear canal. And then there's adaptive EQ. This is a technology borrowed from the AirPods Pro 2. Basically, there's a tiny microphone inside the earbud that listens to how the music sounds within your ear canal, and then it automatically adjusts the low and mid frequencies to make sure that you're getting a consistent sound no matter how the earbuds are sitting in your ear. I think it really helps, but it's important to mention that this is only when ANC and transparency are turned off. And with that said, I prefer the sound in ANC or transparency mode, as the sound in the off mode sounds a bit honky and less dynamic. The Powerbeats Pro 2 also supports spatial audio with Dolby Atmos, which can create a more immersive three-dimensional soundstage. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of spatial audio for music unless it's a mix specifically designed for Dolby Atmos, and I still don't prefer it on the Powerbeats Pro 2 as it pushes the high end up and it makes things sound a bit harsh instead of smooth. I'd stick to ANC or transparency mode and turn off spatial audio. Oh, and one crucial thing, ear tips matter. A lot. I got a wildly different sound with different ear tips, so make sure you experiment to find the ones that give you the best seal and the best sound. So who are the Powerbeats Pro 2 really for? Let's break it down. If you're serious about fitness and need earbuds that absolutely will not fall out, no matter how intense your workout, these are a top contender. The ear hook design and the heart rate monitor makes them a compelling choice for athletes. If you're deep in the Apple ecosystem and love that seamless integration between your devices, the Powerbeats Pro 2 offer many of the same benefits as the AirPods Pro 2. Things like easy pairing and automatic switching, but with a much more secure fit for workouts. And even if you are an Android user, these are worth considering. Beats is unique in offering fast pairing on both platforms, and the sound quality, at least on Android and Mac based upon my testing, is good. But let's be real, these are not for everyone. If you prioritize having a super tiny, pocketable charging case, these aren't it. The case is definitely on the larger side. If you're someone who never really liked the feel of ear hooks or don't work out actively, these probably aren't the best choice. And if you're an audiophile chasing the absolute best sound quality, and especially if you primarily use an iPhone, you might want to do some more research given my experiences with the high frequencies. And finally, at $249, these are a premium product. They're an investment, but for the right person, the dedicated athlete, the Apple user who wants to have a secure fit, or the Android user who wants a premium workout experience, that investment could be worth it. So the question, is the Powerbeats Pro 2 for me? I wouldn't say that these would be the pair that I would wear regularly and often for everyday use and travel, but for active situations, they're an extremely compelling option. The case size does bother me quite a bit, but the combination of sound, fit, ecosystem benefits, and the heart rate sensor makes it easy to pick up for when I'm working out. Alternatively, the battery length would be the only consideration that would make me want to use it while traveling, but I also always try to use low profile products while traveling, so that kind of cancels that out as an option for me. The sound as a whole is, fine, but it's not something that I'd pick up when I truly want to enjoy music. And that pretty much makes this the option I have to leave in my gym room or my gym bag while I use something else for everyday use and travel. And I imagine that's how most people will probably use these. While the Powerbeats Pro 2 aren't the first earbuds with a built-in heart rate sensor, they represent a significant step forward for Beats. They're a compelling option for athletes and a testament to the brand's renewed focus. I wouldn't say they've completely nailed the sound quality across all devices, but they're a solid release and definitely worth checking out. While Beats did not sponsor this video or have any editorial control or review of the content, they did provide me with an early pair of the Powerbeats Pro 2 for this review and travel, hotel, and meal accommodations to bring me to New York City for an in-person briefing. Again, all views are my own and I was not compensated for this video. This video is supported by viewers like you and channel members. And of course, channel sponsor dbrand. Thanks for watching This Is Tech Today. Until next time.